only one kitab chapter published by Froze and Sons. I have not read anywhere else except this one. It says clearly that it was the order of the Hazrat Usman that the blood should not be shed for me, and he kept saying all the time.
Not only that, it has been said by Hazrat Muslim Maud in the Islam but still, if you read through, the whole situation is not satisfying. At least to me, it is not satisfying. I mean, one still boils in agony at what was happening. It was no small crime. That was the crime, in fact, which was responsible for the doing away of the Khilafat institution of Khilafat. So it is the biggest tragedy in the history of Islam. Much bigger than Karbala, in my opinion, in the sense that with Karbala, we have a very deep emotion involved. And here, it is not as much as emotion as the loss of institution. So as far as the long-lasting effect is concerned, it's a terrible loss to Islam that Khilafat was not there. And also, it is fundamental because had Khilafat continued, there would not have been any Karbala. It was impossible. The Karbala was a direct result of Hazrat Usman's tragedy. So it contains in itself the very seed of Karbala. This is why I am quite committed that this is the greatest tragedy that occurred in Islam after the demise of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa.
When something has I have another question, but I think time is short.
No, don't think time is short. There is still 10 minutes.
Oh.
There are still 10 minutes.
Now, when Hazrat Abu Bakr was passed away, before he appointed 6 people and he said that you can choose one of them. So 3 eliminated the 3 and there will be 3 remaining. Then one Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf has said that I will forgive my right. So at the same time I will choose one of you, Hazrat Ali or Hazrat Usman. So he had interviewed with Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Usman, and he asked the same question to Hazrat Ali and asked him, would you be commanding us to do the same as the first Khalifa and the second Khalifa has done? And the Hazrat Ali answer was different to that, and he said, no, the Allah and His Rasul, that's all. But Hazrat Usman answered in affirmative, and then Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf has really proclaimed Hazrat Usman as a Khalifa. So I have now clear in my mind, but I am asking for the other benefit for the other. What was the reason that Hazrat Ali has said such a thing and eliminated first and second Khalifa? Would you?
That was because the decisions of Khalifas could be mistaken by others, and Khalifas had right to differ between each other, not on fundamental, they won't, but in minor details, in exposition of the Holy Quran and understanding of the verses. For instance, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani differed with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal on the interpretation of many verses, but no Khalifa dare differ with Hazrat Masih Maud Wasalam, or no Khalifa, either old or the present line, would ever dream of differing with the jot of what Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa has said. So he was thinking in principles. This is what saved him at the time of that arbitration. This was a fixed principle with Hazrat Ali, and the most beautiful principle. When everything was decided, the agreement was made, he added this in the end, that arbitration or no arbitration, anything which is against the Holy Quran and Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saying, that I will not accept. So this is the most important rule in the life of everybody, that these are the fundamentals and the rest vary. All that you're supposed to do is to obey the Khalifa of the time, even if you disagree with him. Your agreement should always be with the Holy Quran and the Rasul Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saying, as you understand it. but you have not the right to sow the seed of discord among the people, distributing your own views on this, differing with the Khalifa. That will not only be arrogance, but it will be mischief mongering. So that is what is forbidden. But in your conscience, to hold a view which differs with the view of the Khalifa is not at all against the principles of the Holy Quran, but it is imperative upon you to remain true to your conscience. This is fundamental. This you observe also at the time of the new initiators in the time of the various prophets. For instance, one we know positively, Hazrat Nawab Muhammad Ali Khan, when he accepted Hazrat Masih Maud and was ready for initiation, he laid certain conditions. He said, this is your view, but this is my view. And if you accept me as an Ahmadi, holding this view on Hazrat Imam Hassan or Imam Hussain and this and that, then I'll accept you. So Hazrat Masih Maud, yes, I permit you to hold a different view from mine in that regard. And after a while, because this was done because Hazrat Masih Maud knew him to be an honest man. And he knew that whoever is honest will be guided by Allah. This is fundamental. This is my inference from this whole episode. So what happened after a while, the same Hazrat Nawab Muhammad Ali Khan said that there was a time when I said this, but that was a time when I didn't know him. Now the time is different. Now, whatever you say is amanna wa sadaqna, nothing more. This is the voice of my heart. Samena vatan. We heard and we obeyed. That is all. The same thing happened at the time of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in a manner of speaking, when Ansar came into an agreement with him. And when on the day of the Badr, Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam repeatedly asked, advise me, counsel me on this. So then the Ansar understood that according to the agreement, they were not bound to fight with Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam outside Medina. And this is what he is referring to. So they, in principle, they pointed out the same thing. Said, when we did it, we didn't know you as much as we know. So these things happen, I mean.
Could I make a suggestion?
You should be true to your conscience, that's very important.
Could I make a suggestion? When there is no question, Huzur, we would like to hear from you whatever you please to say to us. Because sometimes when there is no question and some other question just have taken it.
I have got some other devices for filling the gaps, interesting ones. Number one, some people are very fond of singing, you know, and they would like to recite some verses. And also we have received many poems, some very good poems from Pakistan. And I want Sood Jelmi Sahib to distribute them among those who sing well. And it will be, you know, some change for the better, like a sweet dish. So you will have those poems recited here. And also, I am going to distribute certain books to various Ahmadis, and I should like them to prepare a gist of the book to be, so that they could finish it within 40 minutes or 35 minutes or so. And they should come and decide and tell us about the book, the author, what has been written, what are the salient features and things. This we started once in Rabwa, and it was very popular and very useful. And the books which I was receiving or having, the rate of their arrival was much faster than the time available to me to read through. So that was also a very good device to help me. If somebody else read it and prepared a gist of important things, it was as if I had read the whole book, the most fundamental things had come, and if I wanted to